Hey everybody, it's your old friend Richard Roeper. We're in beautiful Las Vegas and we're about to go up on this big bad baby right here. Okay, we are on the High Roller. The High Roller is the world's tallest observation wheel. And these are my favorite movies about high rollers.
When we're talking high rollers, we're not just talking about gambling-related movies, although my list does include some great films about the art of the wager. Now, these are all 4-star films in my opinion, so we're going to go in chronological order. We start with 1974 in The Gambler with James Caan in one of his best performances. Caan's legendary intensity is put to great use in his role as Axel Freed. Axel is a New York City professor who has everything going for him: the admiration of his students, a beautiful love interest played by Lauren Hutton, and a privileged background. But his self-destructive addiction is a poison. This is one of the best movies ever made about the darkest side of gambling. I'm also putting Rocky on my list because Rocky Balboa kept on fighting even when he could have been killed. But I'm also including it because of the backstory about the movie. When Sylvester Stallone wrote the screenplay, he was a broke actor struggling to find work. The studio loved the screenplay, but they wanted an established star such as Burt Reynolds or Robert Redford to play Rocky. Stallone could have capitulated and taken a nice payday for the screenplay, but he risked it all by insisting he play Rocky or the movie wouldn't get made, and the rest is history. John Glenn, Gordon Cooper, Alan Shepard, Gus Grissom, Scott Carpenter, Chuck Yeager. They were some of the test pilots who had the right stuff, and their story was told in the magnificent 1983 film of the same name, which is based on Tom Wolfe's equally great book. These men literally risked their lives to fly at supersonic speed, beat the Russians in the space race, and set the table for man landing on the moon. They might have been the ultimate high rollers. Here's one you might not have heard of. I love the manic and darkly funny work by Richard Dreyfuss in Let It Ride. This is the story of Jay Trotter. He's a cab driver and a horse player who's hoping for one magical day at the track before he quits betting forever. We've heard that one before.
I thought we had a deal!
With each win on each race, Jay says let it ride, meaning he's putting all of his winnings on the next race. Few films have ever captured the sheer lunacy of humans betting on horses who are running around on an oval track. Martin Scorsese's The Aviator features Leonardo DiCaprio's Oscar-nominated turn as one of the legendary high rollers of the 20th century, Howard Hughes. Whether Hughes was producing movies such as Scarface or The Outlaw, setting world records for flying distances and speed, or building the infamous Spruce Goose, he spent most of his life putting it all on the line. Then his OCD and his paranoia turned him into a haunted recluse living high atop Vegas. And finally, David Fincher's The Social Network tells the story of a modern-day high roller, Mark Zuckerberg, who famously tells the Winklevoss brothers,
"You know, you really don't need a forensics team to get to the bottom of this. If you guys were the inventors of Facebook, you'd have invented Facebook."
The movie leaves a lot of room to interpret and judge Zuckerberg's ethics, but there's no doubt he changed our way of communicating with each other on a global scale.
All right, that does it. Those are my favorite movies featuring high rollers. I'm Richard Roeper. Let's go gamble.